It's Kambada, the shaman, the god, the crack baby. And right now you're tuned in to Kofi's Universe, the #1 and most truest source for hip hop news, reaction videos, sports, black culture, and much, much more. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Bada.
YouTube, salute! King Kofi is here and I'm back. Oh my God. I have a special guest today. So many people are about to be so happy when you're watching the beginning of this interview. This artist right here is one of the most requested artists on my channel in the comment section. So many people have requested, sent me donations just to react to his music or this artist that's a part of a couple of groups. We're talking about Demigods. We're talking about AOTP, Army of the Pharaohs. We're talking about Styles of Beyond. We're talking about he even did 2 albums with one of the legendary producers, Buck Wild, which is one of my best friends, producer of all time. He is a wordsmith. He has some of the best bars in hip hop history. I'll call him a military ninja on the microphone because you don't know what the hell he's gonna bring, but he moves in silence and is always incognito. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and enemies, the one, the only self-titled, man.
Man, like I really appreciate this, bro. You the man for this, man. I really like it too, man.
Thank you.
On this interview and I checked all your stuff out. This is official like a referee with a whistle, baby.
Thank you. I'm humbled. I'm humbled to hear that from you. I want to say before we begin and ask you questions that everybody wants to know, how are you doing in this time in 2020? I got to ask that first.
I'm maintaining, you know what I'm saying, but it's taking a big hit and I speak on behalf of all independent, shit, even major artists. A lot of us, we depend on finances from touring. Mm-hmm. So right now that is dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little like fucked up financially. I have other ventures and plus we get royalties and right now a lot of streaming and stuff is up because people are at home listening to music. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good bonus. But yeah, I'm doing all right, but it's like ruin all my tour plans, which is a good way for my fans to come in and reach out and see our music. And then it's also a good way for us to get compensated for our music. That's probably the biggest thing going on right now in terms of like my personal life of things being affected. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm sorry about what's all going on because I know it has affected you, many other artists, and even the people that work the 9-to-5s out there too. So, in my behalf, people that's actually watching this interview for the first time, as far as like not knowing who this artist is, if you would like to support him, can you just give like a website or things that people can maybe purchase your music so they can maybe put some money in your pocket?
Yeah, for sure. We got a lot of merch. Myself, self-titled, Apathy, Demigods. We have a store called demigodstore.com. DEMIGODSTORE.com. So Demigods with a Z. Demigodstore.com. Right now we're a little light on the merch, like a lot of sizes are out of stock or whatever. But yeah, go on there. You know what I'm saying? We got CDs, vinyl, shirts. Anything you want to support. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I'll make sure you repeat that again. But don't worry about everybody that's watching the interview. I'm gonna put all his information in the description and in the comment. I'm gonna pin that so y'all can have full access to that, and y'all don't have to worry about what did he say if you didn't hear everything. Because I know how it is when you listen to an interview, things is going by fast. So just want to let everybody know. Thank you for even telling us that. I'll make sure on my end I'll support you too. So thank you. So first and foremost, Tampa Bay, Florida.
Yep, Tampa. Yeah, it's not Tampa. It's just Tampa. A lot of people know because of the sports teams that it's Tampa Bay.
Okay.
There's really no such thing as Tampa Bay. Like,
okay.
Maybe it's like the body of water that separates Tampa from St. Petersburg, Clearwater, whatever. But It's Tampa. So just like when people are like, oh, you're from Tampa Bay, it's like, well, we just accept it. What I'm trying to clarify is Tampa Bay represents a whole big area of I'm not trying to say it's like New York or LA, but it's like we have different like sections of the Bay Area, kind of like how the San Francisco Bay Area, they got like San Francisco, Oakland, Vallejo, all these places. So the Tampa Bay area, we have Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Largo. You know what I'm saying? We have all these different like areas. So Tampa Bay encompasses that whole epicenter or whatever. But I'm from Tampa, like the actual city of Tampa. Yep.
Oh, you know what? Thank you for educating me because I never knew that. I always, because of the football team, the Buccaneers, I always thought Tampa Bay. Yeah.
How they do that because it's like to represent like I said, this whole region, we're all together, but you know, in order to include St. Pete, in order to include Clearwater, it's the Tampa Bay, this whole region, we represent the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? It's our football team, or the Devil Rays, for instance, or actually just the Tampa Bay Rays. They took the Devil name out of it, actually, but it used to be the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. They play across the bridge in St. Petersburg. So we're all one. It's just like, you know, one, like it's hard to, but from an outsider, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I could understand how it's confusing.
Okay, no problem. So how was it growing up in Tampa?
Number one confusion I get is, especially when I had moved to New York and I was like, yo, yeah, I'm from Tampa, whatever. Everyone was like, yeah. Later in conversation, they'd be like, oh, you're from Miami, right? And I'm like, nah. And I love Miami, but Miami is like 4.5 hours away. Like people from outside Florida don't realize Florida is big. It's a big state like Texas. It ain't as big as Texas, but it's big. You know what I'm saying? To the point, like it covers a lot of. It's a very elongated state. You know what I'm saying? So it covers a lot of miles. So Miami is, you know, it's down at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. We don't really have a lot in common with Miami, but people associate. That's, you know, when you think of Florida, you think of Miami. So we get overshadowed by that. But it's all love. Like I love Miami. But I'm just letting people know, like that's the number one conception. They think I could just shoot over to the 30 Pharcyde. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a little road trip. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I see that, like I said, you grew up in Tampa, but you relocated to New York when you was what? A teenager, adulthood?
Yeah, I was like about 18 years old, man.
Okay.
Pretty much still a teenager, but getting into adulthood, and yeah, it was a big move. Yeah, big culture shock and big move up there. I mean, it wasn't so much a culture shock just because Florida is a melting pot. You know what I'm saying? So Florida, even though we're in the South, and we're Southern, and it's definitely dirty South down here, no doubt, but it's more of a melting pot. So we have that. It's really more of an international, multicultural place versus Alabama or Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not dissing them, but it's a different part of the South. You know what I'm saying? So like people from Alabama and Georgia, they don't really consider us. We're like a weird part of the South, if I could explain. You know, we have a different stigma. So it was definitely, as far as moving to New York, it had all cultural representation like we have down here. But it was just so much like it's the metropolis that it was. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to palm trees and backyards and all this shit. Up there is, you know, building after building after building. And, you know, so it definitely was a shock to say the least, for sure.
Okay. So Florida, New York, at this time, I know, like I said, I've read a little, you know, backstory about you. When you got to New York, I know you was an A&R, acting A&R. Is that correct?
Well, initially, yeah. Initially, and big shout out to Livio G and Dave Wallace. These guys, they owned a company called Bud's Distribution in New York City, and they basically had this company that distributed vinyl records all over the world, Japan, Europe, everywhere. They were one of the top vinyl distributors at the time. At the time, you had Fat Beats, Unique Distributors, Big Daddy, Buds, and Landspeed was just getting their start, which is now Traffic. But at that time, they were one of the major vinyl labels or whatever. So they put out a lot of reggae and a lot of hip hop. and a lot of DJ kind of party records. And initially I got hired up there to head up, they wanted to have like a website that would like, at the time there was all these websites, hiphopsite.com. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
So all right, so hiphopsite.com, Sandbox, undergroundhiphop.com.
I remember that.
The marketplace, you know what I'm saying? So they were the plug. So they were like, we want to have our own, we're just going to sell direct on our website. So they hired me initially to head up that website, but it was, they had a real like kind of grandiose plan for it. Like they wanted it to be a store, a magazine, have interviews. Like this, it was ahead of its time. Like the boot them for the like ambition, but it was just a hard thing for one man. Like I was the only person on that team. You know what I'm saying? You get hired for a software company, you have a whole team working with you to make the game or make the program. I was the only person hired to do that. So it wasn't really panning out, but my A&R skills and everything like that kind of came in, my editing skills came into play to where I kind of parlayed my position into an A&R over there.
Okay.
They had a subsidiary called Bronx Science Records. Yeah.
Okay. No doubt. So, from you, from a child, maybe I don't know, was it a teenager, but who influenced you growing up when it came to like hip hop rap? Like what artists or, you know, group of artists that you like, you know what, right there, oh my God, like I gotta write something. Like who was that?
I mean, really when I think back to it, like my early, like Ice Cube, pretty much Ice Cube just solidified it for me. Like that's probably one of my major influences.
Wow. Shout out to the GOAT, Ice Cube. He's a legend, man. He's a legend. You know, I'm glad you bigging him up because he deserves his flowers now. A lot of people don't be giving him his flowers. So it's a blessing to see you say that. Thank you.
Yeah, like that's kind of a lot of, and I'm talking from a real head. Like a lot of people, they didn't like when he went to the like We Be Clubbing and all that era.
Yeah.
Like that tainted, you know what I'm saying? But and regardless of that material, I'm just talking about the material from the late '80s, early '90s that really influenced me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. For sure. Who is self-titled away from the microphone, man? Who? Everybody want to know who's that.
I mean, I'm real laid back, man. I'm a business fella. I'm just about, you know what I'm saying? I'm a hustler there, man. I'm, you know, I just like to chill, focus on business moves. I'm not really, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they listen to my music and they think I'm really out here with rocket launchers and I'm doing, you know, like the craziest thing, actually, I have a funny story about that is one of my boys that I used to holler at, I used to get some bud from. We had a dude in jail that was like, yo, this guy idolizes you. Your songs, the shit you talk about, he lives it. And I was like, whoa. Like, then this guy was in prison already. And he's like, yo, and I was like, yo, I mean, is he gonna be upset if you tell him, I'm not really out here bucking off these rocket launchers and whatnot. And he was like, man, I don't know, it might like really hurt his heart. So I'm just telling you, it's crazy. Like, yeah, fans, I'm definitely about it. Don't get it wrong. But yeah, I'm not really out here like pulling grenade pins and, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be here doing this interview if that was the case. So.
Hell no.
I just like to chill. I just try to get it together like leather. And that's that.
That's all we want to know, and I'm glad you said it. And before I get to the next question, so a lot of fans that's on my channel that request your music, that love you, people from Portland, Oregon. We talking about people from Chicago, Illinois. Of course, we have the U.S. We're talking about Canada. We're talking about Puerto Rico. We're talking about several countries in Europe. We're talking about Peru, Netherlands. The Netherlands, Switzerland, UK. I want to say, what was it? Gambia? There's some people out there that's abroad love your music on my channel.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
yeah.
National, we get a lot of love. Like anytime we've toured or gone overseas, like the love is no doubt we get love from the US, but the US is so hip hop spoiled. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, oh, another rapper, another fucking whatever. So it's like when you go over to these places, they really appreciate the art form a little more. Yeah, Europe and Canada and Australia and Japan, these places really appreciate the type of music we do.
Yes, yes, you're definitely right about that. And like I said, and thank you to all my subscribers and the people that love your music. We want to thank them right now because, at the end of the day, they are the ones that support you, and I love it. It makes me feel good when I can see somebody in a country, because like the technology we have now is different from 15, 20 years ago. We knew people was probably supporting, but we didn't have this interaction. This interaction now that you can actually see the post real quick and see somebody post something from a different country is probably just, somewhere out and about. But now everything is just so close and it's personal. So I love that interaction we have now, especially now doing the Zoom meetings and everything we have. So
yeah, this is the first thing. Like I said, Kofi's Universe, history in the making. Like, you know what I'm saying? Salute. Like this is the first. I ain't never done. You made me download the Zoom app.
wow.
I don't do this. So
Wow. Well, you know what? I started doing the Zoom is because I was using Skype. I didn't know, and that's when I was doing interviews for the first time last year. I did an interview with Kambada and K Reno, so I was using Skype. So when I asked for more interviews, a lot of people was like, I don't have Skype. I was like, damn. So my wife was like, baby, just use Zoom. I'm like, Zoom? She's like, it's easy. I'm like, okay. So since then, it's been easy. If a person doesn't even have the app or not, they can just click the link and it will take them right into the
shit, I didn't download the app.
Yeah.
I didn't have to download the app.
Now you didn't even have to download the app. But if you was going to use it on your laptop, you could just press the link and it will open up. But even having the app is still good because you can still Zoom people. If you have to have like a conference call with anybody from like your management or just a family, you can Zoom everybody right there. It can be 8 faces and y'all can talk together.
Okay, well, I got it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, I love it. I got it. It's all good.
Yeah, and it's something I've learned also because one of my close friends, his birthday was in March, and he had like family and friends on the Zoom. It was like 20 people. They was all lined up, and they was just wishing him happy birthday.
Yeah.
So, next question. How do you what do you think about the current state of hip hop rap right now?
I mean, it's totally different. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you got to realize hip hop is a youthful thing. So the youth that's making new hip hop rap music right now, you got to look at what age they are and think to like, okay, so I would say age 13 to 14 is where you really fall into love with music. Maybe like your middle school years, it defines who you are in terms of your musical taste. So you got to look at it like these kids, 18, 19, 20, making these records. When they were 14, 13, 14, that's 5, 6 years ago. So some of their real biggest influences is going to be Future and a lot of these new, artists from the past decade. So really, I really can't say, like, I don't really have a comment on. I listen to a lot of new music just for fun. I like a lot of party music. Like I like a lot of the trap type music, but just to like turn up music, but just to party. I don't really listen to it to analyze the lyrics and all that. But I'm really, to be honest, like, not to sound like I'm old, I just don't have much to say. Like, it's their thing. I could say it's the youth thing. Like, they're, like, you know what I'm saying? They consider Soulja Boy old school.
Yeah.
So I really have no comment on it. Like, I really, there is some artists pushing kind of like our era of hip hop, like the Griselda guys. And people like that. So I salute them. But current state of hip hop, it is what it is. Like my era of hip hop is dead in terms of the whole overall scheme of things. It's very alive within our community.
Mm-hmm.
But current state of hip hop is dead. I mean, you know, pretty much. I mean, let me flip it on you. What do you think?
I feel the current state of hip hop right now, there's like this decline, incline. The decline of people are, as far as new rappers, I feel like they're just doing anything that's trendy because they feel like I want to sell. But at the same time, I see the OGs, I see the pioneers. I'm not saying they came out of retirement, but I feel that because people are mandating them, we need you, we need you. It's kind of like Superman, I got to take off Clark Kent the clothes and I got to come out here and save the world. So you have this, you know, this mix of the old Jesus right here, but you still have the young Jesus. But at the same time, though, in different situations, the new rappers, they still are being tested and they feel like, you know, I can use my platform for this. So I feel like there's this type of shift, and I believe it has a lot to do with social media. It has a lot to do with like record labels allowing them to sometimes maybe want them to put out certain music they want to put out, and it's always about, you know, money. When I mean money, as far as like, I will say this just to make the millions and millions of dollars compared to a person like you or another rapper like R.A. the Rugged Man or Immortal Technique or Vinny Paz that's going to speak from the heart and make soulful music, real true hip hop music, and knowing that you ain't gonna get no $10 million for that, but it's okay. You did it from the heart.
That's because money wasn't the motivator.
Yeah.
Like you hit the nail on the head right there, because you know, you like a lot of these young cats, a lot of them get into it because they realize they could get a bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that, because that's kind of what hip hop is turned into, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, when we were coming up, it was about props and respect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And now we parlayed it into a venture that we can make money off of. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, it definitely wasn't about money. I can tell you that.
Yes, I agree. And there's nothing wrong. Like one of my friends, his cousins asked me, because he wants to be a rapper, and he wanted me to critique some of his rhymes, and I really critiqued his rhymes, and I told him the truth. I told him these are some of the rappers I feel you should listen to, and not take their style, but understand their wordplay, understand the breakdown, how they actually, you know, breathe on the microphone, the technique, the structure of how you write. Because I told him, I said, when you do something, you want to make sure you put everything into something that you know, and at the end of the day, it was all blood, sweat, and tears. No matter what it is, when you sacrifice, don't just do it. In the meantime, you can always feel like, dang, I should have did more or less. Yes, we will critique ourselves, but at the same time, though, and he took my opinion. He said he was so happy because so many people told him, "Oh, you tight." I said, "But they're gonna tell you anything, because a lot of people, they just gonna be yes men." And I said, me not being a yes man, I never disrespected him. I said, listen, this is what I feel you should do. It's all about, if you love me or you care about me, you're going to want me to tell you the truth. And I told him, I said, I'm not saying be like these rappers, but you got to have somebody that when you put certain music on, you know you're going to tap into another realm in your mind that's going to take you somewhere else. Like, there's certain artists I listen to when I work out in the gym. Well, outside right now, I'll listen to some Nas. I'll listen to some KRS-One. I'll listen to some Razzcast. I'll listen to some Wu-Tang. You know, I'll listen to Black Thought. I'll listen to Lupe Fiasco. I'll listen to, of course, Immortal Technique, Akala. You know, different people that I like to tap into to take my mind to another level. Now, there's nothing wrong with Snoop Dogg, the East Siders, and Dre. Don't get me wrong. I love that too. But when I'm really trying to focus and concentrate on something, I need something that's going to stimulate my mind. Now, as an artist, taking yourself away from being an artist and just being the normal you, who do you listen to if you may be working out, you know, you blazing, you with family and friends, if you just chilling?
Like I said, I like a lot of trap music, like, but kind of what the crazy thing is, what's considered now to the real young cats, old school trap music, meaning like Gucci Mane, the Waka Flocka, the Yo Gotti. And a lot of that is my just chill, juicy day. A lot of that is my party music, to have fun music.
Okay. I mean, and that's good because, you know, I've listened to, you know, music like that. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that because I think we have this, not you or me, but other people. Oh, I don't listen to that. And I've seen those same people at like a barbecue or something and they bouncing. Like, hold up, you say you don't listen to that. But it's just we don't want to be put in this category of you like that only. You don't like everything else. You can have a variety of things you enjoy. Because, you know, hip hop is universal because it's all over the planet.
It's like with food. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just want a quick meal, you could go to McDonald's or Burger King if you have to. But if you gotta stop in and go to a restaurant with a 4-course meal and all this and that, it's kind of like that with music. Like some music you're gonna listen to and really be like, man, that's deep. I'm gonna analyze that and maybe take something out of that and apply it to my life. And then some music you want to listen to, and it's like fast food. And I'm not dissing it because it still takes a certain amount of talent and personality to pull that off successfully. That type of music you could just chill and not think too deep and just have a good time. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that music is fun to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. You being a member of AOTP, that to me that's a dope ass group. I mean, beyond being dope, I can't even describe a word. Dope is just probably a low term, but it's like this. I call y'all like the Avengers. I know that's a big, you know, thing, but you are a super part of a super group. What do you think about your position being in AOTP as far as if you can name a Marvel character, who would you be in AOTP?
I mean, without a question, I'd be the Punisher. You know what I'm saying?
Woo! Yes.
Ask me that question, but yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind. But yeah, I'd be the Punisher in the Marvel universe. But to get deep on your point, on your question, I mean, really, it's a super blessing to be a part of that group. I mean, I'm not saying I'm taking away from my talent or dues that I paid or skills that I had to make it to that group, but also it's not like, it also has a lot to do with relationships and who you came up with and who, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm very talented, no doubt, but a lot of it is time and place and who you know, and like, so I'm very blessed that like my musical path I ended up being an MC in Army of the Pharaohs. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm very humbled by it, to be honest. After all these years, that's my answer to that. I'm very humbled by it. I'm very like realize how ill of a collaboration that was for everyone to come together.
That's right. I mean,
I'm not born like that, but I don't know another underground kind of, you know, lyrical miracle guys like us that has come since. I mean, Griselda, like I said, but they're not really on the tip that we're on.
Yes.
So as far as our lane, there really has, in my opinion, there hasn't been nobody that's come in our lane per se, in a sense.
I agree. I mean, when I think of Army of the Pharaohs, like I said, I feel like it's a super group put together, but it's organic and it's nothing, you know, being like forced. Like, no, you get over here. To me, it's
yeah.
So and I love that the fact, because there were other groups in the past, and this is not a knock on them, but just they never got a chance to put together a project. Like if you think about the Four Horsemen, you know, they were supposed to be make an album. People, oh, they put a mixtape out, no, but we didn't hear no album from them. So we always just was curious and wondering, you know, that how that would have played out. But just to have the Army of the Pharaohs and put out projects, it's like it's a big blessing, you know, for hip hop right now. And I wanted to say thank you and all the members of AOTP, because For real, I give y'all flowers right now for that, man.
I really appreciate that. And man, a mega shout out to Vinny Paz and John. I realized, like, yeah, we're all a part of it, like, and all that stuff you're saying, but really, man, like when these projects happen and they're headed up, it's Paz, it's Jan, it's these guys over here, Enemy Soil, making these projects spearhead through. So really, big salute to Vinny Paz, the general, holding it down, making sure all Army the Pharaoh stuff is in order. And you know what I'm saying? That's what you got to look for. And hopefully we'll have something new coming out soon. I know he did an interview a little while back talking about it. So, I mean, we're ready. You know what I'm saying? We're ready.
Okay, you took the words out of my mouth because I was just about to ask you, are we going to have another AOTP project soon? But thank you for even answering that. So we was on the same frequency about that.
Taz wants to do another AOTP. He's the general. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's the captain. So he's going to make sure everything is in order, and he's going to do another one. He's going to make the call. So we're ready, though.
Okay. And just to let everybody know, man, when I'm going to speak this into existence. When they do another project, I'm going to make sure I do the reactions on the channel. I'm going to review the album. And hopefully, maybe we'll get an interview with all the members or other members, including Celph again. But I know y'all want to see him again. So we got to definitely make that happen to get them their buzz, their promotion going, so everybody can be tuned in. People that maybe never even heard your music, we can get them on board. So I care about that.
Yeah, so we can get mad screens up in here, right? Like it would just be
like
15 motherfuckers in the group. So it's gonna be a full screen.
That's tight. That's tight. I'm not tripping off that. Now I gotta ask you about some sports. I don't know if you've been watching sports, maybe not cut through the pandemic, but pre-pandemic. Do you still follow basketball, football, boxing, MMA, or is it more like whatever?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000 with you. Like I'm not a sports guy.
Okay.
Like I respect it, and I definitely represent like whoever my home teams are, like Tampa Bay Rays, Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Lightning. I represent, but yeah, I'm not. I just never been a sports guy. I salute all my sportsters. I really respect y'all. I know a lot of my homeboys fuck with sports hard, and they bet games and all this, and they make all kinds of bread. Yeah, I'm not a sports guy. No disrespect to sportsters, or not to be disrespectful calling y'all sportsters, but I'm just not a sports guy.
Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with that. But even to the next question, so who are some of your favorite heroes growing up, or some people you maybe admire, this is a good person, like if it was a certain scholar or author of a book you read from them?
Yeah, that's a deep question. I mean, you talking about like a real person or like a fictional, like a childhood fiction?
Let's go nonfiction and fiction.
Yeah, all right. Well, I would say, and it's ironic with what's going on right now, but one of my childhood idols is RoboCop.
Okay.
Okay. So when I was a little kid, you know what I'm saying? When RoboCop came out, I was obsessed, you know what I'm saying? So, and on that note, as an adult, going back, looking at that movie is a fucking masterpiece, man. It's an underrated movie in terms of the crazy fact of it is that the dude who directed that movie, he was from Europe. You know what I'm saying? He was from, I don't know where he's from, Sweden, Norway, or one of those areas up there. Mm-hmm. And he did a perfect, time capsule of what the USA was in 1987. All the political stuff with Reagan and Star Wars and the crime in the cities and all this stuff at the time. And so yeah, that movie is just a really ill part. I don't know why, but whatever. Yeah, RoboCop, it's a drama, it's a comedy, it's a satire, it's an action, it's science fiction, it's everything. So yeah, my childhood fucking hero is RoboCop. But in terms of current people or like a real person, yeah. Hard to say, man. Like I really hard to say. When I say Ice Cube is a real inspiration to me, I would say it's still Ice Cube, man. I don't mean to be Ice Cube everything, but
Yeah.
I'm number one Ice Cube fan, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. No, no, I'm glad you give me that. And like I said, damn, I haven't watched RoboCop in a minute. You gonna make me want to watch that now. Now I'm about to go back and watch that.
Like I said, a lot of people front, man. A lot of people, RoboCop. They think it's cool. Watch it now. It holds up to, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some of the special effects look a little janky or whatnot, but it's a genius fucking film. It's not what you think. The people that get that movie, they know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
And
most definitely.
I'm 90 now. I got some samples on it for me.
Okay, most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. Now I want to talk about the project you did with Buck Wild, and like I said, that project is a classic. You know, I put my stamp on it. How did that come to, how did that come to take place and to be manifested? Because to me, when I was like, hold on, Buck Wild, and I saw you and Buck Wild, together, I was very impressed, but not just impressed from the exterior, but just hearing the album, it was beyond what I expected.
No doubt. I mean, that means a lot because I put that album basically is a decade's worth of material stored up in my head. Happening. And I really got to salute Buck Wild, and my man DL from No Sleep Recordings is the one who connected us. So he was working with Buck Wild, and I was talking with DL. And at the time, I was asking him like, yo, does he have like old discs of those? Because I love Buck Wild current stuff. I'm all the way up to everything he's done with Jadakiss to Black Rob, Whoa, all these millennium hits he's got. But a lot of the joints that really touched me was those 90s era, Mike Geronimo and Alkaholiks, OC, Word Life, and all the albums that really touched me. So I was like, yo, does he have any discs or any unreleased, maybe beats that couldn't get cleared, the samples couldn't get, I'm like, I know he made so many beats back then. I know he's got some shit that nobody's never heard that would be totally encapsulate, if that's the word, that sound to a super 100% authenticity. Happened to have it. And also DL, very like-minded with me as far as a 90s hip-hop enthusiast, spearheaded this project, and Buck was with it. He was familiar with my underground work because I had records out since the late 90s with so many different projects. And so my name has been out in the scene for a while. So he was familiar with me. So it wasn't like it had to be really convinced. It was just like, yeah, let's do it. Because you got to realize no one had ever approached with that idea. Of course, mad artists will be, yo, Buck, I want to do an album with you. Like, but no one had came at him about doing it like that. Such an original idea. And so from there, we did that album. And yeah, I talk to Buck every week. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Hopefully we get something new from y'all soon, you and Buck, because I know some of the fans will want to hear some music again from y'all because y'all make a good duo. Y'all make a good duo. It's like his chemistry with his beats and your lyrics, are perfect, and they're like like a mirror for each other.
Thank you, man.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Are there any artists right now? Doesn't matter if it's old school, new school, that you would like to work with. If you felt like, what, if I was putting out a mixtape, I would put this artist on this track with me or whatever. Anybody you have in mind?
I mean, really, to be honest with you, I'm gonna try to make it happen, but I want to do a song on my album that I'm working on right now. I want to do a song with me and Apathy and Redman and Method Man.
Woo!
That's my goal. I'm sure I can make it happen. I will make it happen. But to answer your question, that's the answer. And I'm basically foretelling the future.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna definitely see that, y'all, and I can't wait to see that. That will be a track that will probably set the internet on fire for real. I know I have to close down my laptop, iPad, and phone, but I would definitely love to see that. That's nothing but pure rawness. I mean, the wordplay would be surreal from all four of y'all. It would just be that track right there. I can see about 6-7 minutes. Y'all gonna need 24 bars to get off what y'all gotta say.
It'll be a doozy, man. No hopscotching on that.
Yes, yes, yes. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Upcoming rappers that's not signed yet, but they're trying to get their name out on, through social media, YouTube. You see the way things are set up now that you can just, jump on social media, get a YouTube channel, SoundCloud, which is good. Different from 20 years ago, our era growing up. Any advice you have for those type of MCs, rappers right now going into this game and not having the tools how to navigate through, the system?
Man, to be 100% like straight to the fucking root, have some finances. Straight up. Cause like you asked that question and it's a million motherfuckers trying to rap. Probably a billion. Trying to make a YouTube channel, trying to put out a mixtape, trying to be a rapper. So, number one, be very fucking versed. Like how you were talking about earlier, you told your man like you shot him the real spill. Mm-hmm. You didn't sugarcoat it because you were basing it on the skill levels of all these other artists, and maybe he wasn't aware of, mm-hmm. that he's getting into the arena of. Mm-hmm. So I could say the best thing is just be unique. Make sure your shit is fucking stands out from all these another billion artists trying to do this. And if you think you got that, then you better have some finances because that's how you really get known. That's how you're gonna pay to get a publicist. And you're gonna pay to have someone think up of some viral campaign to have your video on World Star with your music in the background and be some shit that catches on. You gotta pay for that. Mm-hmm. So that I'm gonna be 100% real. If you wanna really, really make it, make sure your shit is fire, which is cliche, but have somebody like Kofi that's gonna tell you the real. And if your shit is fire, then make sure you have somebody willing to invest in you and get your shit in front of audience. Because if your shit is really that fire and you really stand out and you're really original and you're really gonna be the next guy, whether it's underground or mainstream, then if you get in front of that many people's faces, you're gonna go. But you need the money. I hate to say it, but you need the money to get yourself catapulted in front of all these eyes. Mm-hmm. That. Talent and money. Yes. Two very hard things to obtain, but if you got talent, you can't obtain it. If you got talent, then get some money. Yes.
And to all the upcoming rappers, if you're looking at this video, just wanted to let you know, don't be discouraged if you never make it, okay? That the reason why I said don't be discouraged, that might not even be your destiny. You might be owning like a record company, your own independent. You don't know how the universe plays out. So I don't want you to expect, oh man, I never became a rapper. No, don't be mad at yourself. You never know how things play out. You might be put in a position to bring some other artists on, and it might be their shine through you. You might be that beacon. You might just be that medium to help them get to that next lane. So however things play out, always look at it as learn from what's going on. You can always cheat somebody else. It happens in life. There's so many people out here didn't make it to the NBA. So many people didn't make it to be this or that. But they was always that stepping stone for somebody else to come along and teach them what to do or not to do. You never know how things play out. That I just want to say that on my end. That's on my end.
Because like I didn't mean to be. I was being very blunt. Like, yo, get your skills up and get your backing up. But yes, don't give up 100% on what you said. Don't give up. I mean, you look at comedians with the Louis C.K., It took him 10, 15 years till he became a real popping comedian. He never gave up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't be I don't. So yeah, I 100% appreciate what you said, because I'm not saying, oh, if you don't have the money or whatever. I'm just saying, yeah, keep at it and make your goal just always in the back of your mind. Realize I got it. Even if it's your own money, you don't have to have a bunch of money. I'm just saying, if you got money, invest into getting your. If your shit is that ill, get it in front of people's eyes. That's all I meant by that. And don't give up. Yeah.
Yes. Everything you said was 100%, real, and I respect you for saying that, because I think that I did it when I was young. Oh man, I couldn't do that. Why this happening? Why that happening? Now looking back, like, I'm glad that didn't happen. Damn that, because you never know how things play out, because people want the status. They want instant gratification, but not knowing sometimes you can still be protected on other levels that you might not even see. And there's things that we have to always just trust the universe with, like, you know what, I can see why that didn't happen. But like you said, never give up. Always put your best effort, because whatever happens, happens. There are so many rappers that never made it due to what? They probably went to jail for the rest of their life. Some people maybe got killed at an early age. Some people just never had that break. But this is what I'm going to say, because this is something I do know, but you can always correct me because you are the artist. The people that do make it, not because it was in the right time, the right place at the right time, I believe sometimes it's your drive. It's the drive you're going to put in 24/7.
That's what I was about to add to what you were saying. So you already on my wavelength. Like, I was going to say, it's all about, a lot of people wait around for, oh, I'm going to get signed, or my favorite artist is going to know that I'm going to pay VIP and go backstage to spit them my illest verse, and they're going to get, like, you gotta make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Life is short. Like, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be an aspiring MC at 20 and wake up one day at 35 and be like, fuck, my shit ain't popping yet. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, get on the ball. Your drive is 100%, because there's plenty of artists out there who, in my opinion, aren't really that talented, but they have a funny personality or whatever, and it works, but they had the drive behind it to put that personality or whatever it was in front of all these people's faces. Like, you know what I mean? So
I want to add on something. I met Nas in person in 1996. It was July 3rd, the day after it was written was released. And he was in Los Angeles, down the street from my house where I live right now. And there was an album signing he was doing. So a person, maybe like 4 or 5 people in front of me in the line, he told Nas, yo, Nas, I rap. Nas said, word? You got a demo on you? Oh no. See, you can't be taken serious when they might put you on the spot. I want to hear it. You never know. That could have been his opportunity to not say, hey man, we going to the studio tonight. Won't you come with us?
they could have gave him a tape right then and there. Professional. Even if back then he had a tape with a little with 11 by 15 or whatever that shit was.
For that
bio,
yeah.
Photo. At least it would be a professional presentation, and it look like you're making the effort.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, yeah.
Yeah. Last couple of questions while we wrap this up. Top 5 rappers, MCs. Name them. We already know Ice Cube is one.
Ice Cube is definitely one of them. Big shout out to Ice Cube. I gotta say Big L.
Woo, okay.
Big L, Big Pun.
Okay.
How many is that? That's 3 with Ice Cube. 50 Cent.
Okay.
And then I'll have to say a tie between 2 friends of mine, but Rascass and Chino XL.
Put them both there. That's your top 5.
We have to say, man, honorable mention. This might be off kilter to some people, but this dude was a major influence to me, being from the South and early hip hop music, and just also you could tell my style is very abrasive. and very purposely ignorant, if that makes any sense. Um, but with a serious message behind it. Honorable mention to Willie D of Ghetto Boys.
Ooh.
Like, because he's a very intelligent guy. A lot of people, especially maybe if you're from New York or whatever, or like you'll listen to his stuff and be like, "Oh, this is country bumpkin," so, you know, because he's very country.
Mm-hmm.
But man, his albums like really very political, very relevant for the time that those albums came out, and like his delivery was just so raw and just so unadulterated, and he just don't get the props. A lot of people give Face the props. I love Face. A lot of people say Face the king of the South. I'll give it to him, like no doubt. But Willie D, big special shout out to Willie D. That's my, you know, so Ice Cube, Willie D. These are some guys that really influenced me. The only thing I can say is really a lot of my music, and you know, in terms of like a lot of the stuff that I say is I'm not really political. A lot of these guys are a little political. I never really got political in my music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, a lot of people might be like, "Oh, you're influenced by Ice Cube and Willie D," but a lot of these guys did a lot of political type music. I never really delved into that. They were just my influences to do what I do, is my point. Is like I wasn't trying to copy what they did. But, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Willie D, and if you don't follow his podcast YouTube channel, please subscribe. I check out all his videos. Yeah, he has great positive messages, and the other artists that self-named, man. So those artists are unbelievable. Two of the artists he mentioned, Big L, Big Pun, rest in peace to them. We will never have another, you know, iconic rappers like that. You know, they have their own lane that's set forever. You can even never emulate those styles. Not at all. Not at all. One of the last things I want to ask you is any features coming up so we can be expecting, like you might be featured on somebody's mixtape album that we should be, you know, looking out for?
Right. I mean, like the soonest thing coming out, like as far as like right now, is my guys Blackistan and Stu Bangers.
Okay.
They have a called they have a group that they do called Watson and Holmes, and they're re-releasing their first album on vinyl, and there's a bonus track that I'm on with that. It's like limited to 100 copies. I don't have the link or whatever, but just Google or Instagram, look up Blackistan and Stu Bangers, you know, check out what they got. Other than that, really, I'm just working on my album. I'm also, my next album is fully produced by Stu Bangers. So it's gonna be like pretty much all that hardcore, like Stu Bangers type sound. I mean, he's versatile. I'm not trying to say it's best, you know, some type of specific sound, but for my album, it's a specific sound, very dark, very hardcore. Fun though. When I say dark, I don't mean it's depressing. It's just like, you know, it's a fun action sci-fi horror movie.
Okay. Shout out to Stu Bangers. Shout out to Blackistan. Please support them and follow them on IG, their social media platforms, y'all, and check out their music if you never heard nothing from them. And I have reactions of their music on my channel too. Last thing is, this is for you. Whatever you want to tell my subs that are your fans on my channel and the people that's not familiar with you, this is your time. Say how long, whatever you want to say.
Hey man, look. If you watch this interview and you made it this far and you're not familiar with Self-Titled, at least check out the album Self-Titled and Buck Wild 1990 Now. Let that be your, you know, presentation of my music. And I will have to shout out my brother Apathy, and will say that he's got an album coming this year called Where the River Meets the Sea. And that's pretty much all I can say to look out for. And I appreciate you. If you made it this far in the interview, salute. Definitely check out Self-Titled, Instagram, CELPHTITLED, Self-Titled. Facebook, same thing, Facebook /Self-Titled, Twitter /Self-Titled. I'm not real active on social media, But those are the fucking links. So
All right.
yeah.
The wordsmith, the punchline king, self-titled, y'all. He made it. He came. Blessings to come by. Bless the channel. He blessed y'all. So just wanted to let you know, Celph, you're more than welcome to come by anytime on my channel to promote music, group music, solo projects, whatever. Even if you want to get something off your chest, even if you want to drop a fire 16 for us, you're more than welcome to always do that. This channel is open to you because since you blessed me, it's only right for me to bless you right back and let you know this will always be here for you. Whatever I can do to support you. If it's to review your album, to give a album review, reactions to your music, hip hop news, to say you're dropping something, whatever I can do, I'm going to show love and support.
Appreciate you, sir. Much love, man.
Much love, y'all. So until next time, everybody, peace and blessings. Salute.